हेलो। Hello, all of you join. ఏమండి? ప్రస్తుతానికి ఉల్లాసే మరి. Hello, all of you join. Attendance is very poor. Okay, in the last class, so I give an introduction for this boundary layer formation. Whenever the fluid flow takes place on a flat plate, for example, air flow on a flat plate or water flow on a flat plate, and the fluid velocity u free stream, the temperature of the fluid T free stream, and similar to the hydrodynamic boundary layer. So if we heat the plate or the plate is warm condition, if the plate is in warm condition, thermal boundary layer will be formed. Thermal boundary layer will be formed on the surface of the plate. Here, as already explained, Ts is a surface temperature, and this is the laminar region. This is thermal boundary layer formation. Thermal boundary layer. So the laminar region, transition region, and turbulent region. And the temperature profile. So the surface, on the surface of the plate, temperature is high when compared with when we are moving in the y direction, temperature decreases. And obviously here Ts is more than that of T free stream. So heat transfer from Ts to T free stream because of temperature gradient of Ts minus T free stream. Here what is delta Th? Thickness of the thermal boundary layer. Thickness of the thermal boundary layer. The temperature profile. This is the temperature profile in the laminar region. Similarly, there will be temperature profile in the transition region. And similarly, here this temperature profile, what you are observing is under turbulent conditions. So temperature profile. So temperature T for temperature, and temperature varies along y direction. T of y, temperature varies along the y direction. And with delta Th, thermal boundary thickness. What is delta? Hydrodynamic boundary thickness. So if there is velocity of flow, hydrodynamic boundary layer will formed. Velocity because of viscosity, hydrodynamic boundary layer formed. In addition to the hydrodynamic boundary layer, if the plate is in warm condition, then obviously thermal boundary layer will be formed. That's why this diagram gives us, already explained in the last class. Thermal boundary layer formed during the flow of cool fluid over a warm plate. Cool fluid over a warm plate. And here, this thermal boundary layer, how do you define? But thermal boundary thickness delta Th is arbitrarily defined as distance y from the plate surface in such a way that Ts minus T divided by Ts minus T free stream is equal to 0.99. So this definition, after conducting number of experiments on this plate for a warm plate, after conducting number of convection heat transfer experiments, so they found that how do you define the thermal boundary thickness delta Th? So the thermal boundary thickness delta Th is arbitrarily defined as a distance y from the plate surface in such a way that at which or otherwise at which Ts minus T divided by Ts minus T free stream is equal to 0.99, where Ts is the surface temperature, T is the temperature at any value of y, at any given value of y from the surface. Here, for example, any value of y from the given surface, from the surface of the plate or otherwise, from the surface of the plate. Ts, surface temperature. T free stream, what is T free stream? That is temperature of the fluid. Temperature of the fluid. That's why whenever there is a hot plate, when the fluid is flowing with the velocity u free stream, hydrodynamic boundary layer will be formed. And if the fluid is flowing with velocity as well as the temperature T free stream, and at the same time, if the plate is in hot condition, if the plate is in hot condition, then there is thermal boundary layer will be formed. Then your delta T here delta TH is the thermal boundary layer thickness. Thermal boundary layer thickness. How do you define the thermal boundary layer thickness? Delta TH. It defines the distance y from the surface of the plate. It depends as the distance y in y direction from the surface of the plate, at which the Ts minus T divided by Ts minus T free stream is equal to 0.99. That's why velocity profile in the case of hydrodynamic boundary layer depends upon the velocity profile of the hydrodynamic boundary layer. Depends upon the mainly fluid viscosity. Depend upon the viscosity of the fluid. Hydrodynamic boundary layer is formed. But the temperature profile, this temperature profile of the thermal boundary layer mainly depends upon the viscosity of the fluid as well as velocity of flow and specific heat and thermal conductivity of the fluid. That's why the temperature profile of this thermal boundary layer depends upon the viscosity of the fluid, velocity of flow, and specific heat and thermal conductivity of the fluid. Thermal conductivity of the fluid. Okay, na? Here, so here in the hydrodynamic thermal boundary layer, delta is the hydrodynamic thermal boundary layer thickness, whereas delta TH is the thermal boundary layer thickness. Delta is the hydrodynamic boundary thickness. Delta TH is the thermal boundary thickness. So here the relative magnitude of this delta hydrodynamic boundary thickness and delta TH thermal boundary thickness are affected by the thermophysical properties of the fluid. Thermophysical properties of the fluid. What are thermophysical properties? Is viscosity of the fluid. Viscosity, okay, that is the velocity of the flow and specific heat and thermal conductivity. All these are thermophysical properties of the fluid. So the relative magnitude. So what is the thickness of delta? What is the thickness of delta TH? The height in terms of R 5 mm, R 10 mm, R 15 mm. Delta 5 mm, 10 mm, 15 mm, R delta TH. So 10 mm, 20 mm, 30 mm. That are magnitudes of the thicknesses delta and delta TH are affected by the thermophysical properties of the fluid. And the governing parameter, however, the governing parameter is a non-dimensional number, that is Prandtl number. So by calculating the Prandtl number for both the conditions, hydrodynamic as well as thermal conditions, by calculating the Prandtl number, you must be in a position to tell what is the magnitude of delta, what is the magnitude of delta TH, thermal boundary thickness, what is the magnitude of delta, what is the magnitude of delta TH. So depends upon the governing parameter of Prandtl number. So mainly depends upon the Prandtl number. What is the height of delta? What will be the height of thermal delta TH? That is the relative magnitudes of delta and delta. It depends upon the governing parameter in this convection heat transfer. The governing parameter is the non-dimensional number. What is the non-dimensional? Prandtl number. So Prandtl number. So if you have to calculate the Prandtl number in order to verify what relative magnitudes of delta and delta TH. What are the magnitudes of delta and delta TH? You can relate delta and delta TH based on this Prandtl number, based on the non-dimensional Prandtl number. So Prandtl number is non-dimensional. That's why. So what is the significance of non-dimensional number? Non-dimensional numbers I have given: Reynolds number, Prandtl number, Nusselt number, Grashof number. So that's why Prandtl number here plays an important role to distinguish the magnitudes of, or otherwise to the relative magnitudes of delta and delta TH can be observed after calculating and verification of this Prandtl number. So Prandtl number, how do you calculate? How do you calculate Prandtl number? Prandtl number PR is equal to mu Cp by K. Prandtl number PR, Prandtl number is equal to mu Cp by K, where mu is the dynamic viscosity, Cp is the specific heat, and K is the thermal conductivity. That's why thermophysical properties. So mainly viscosity, specific heat, Cp, and thermal conductivity, K, thermal conductivity. That's why after calculation of the Prandtl number, which is the governing parameter to verify the relative magnitudes of delta and delta TH, hydrodynamic boundary thickness delta and thermal boundary thickness delta TH. So Prandtl number, how do you calculate Prandtl number? Mu Cp by K. Okay, na? So now, if Prandtl number is equal to 1, obviously, if you take any physical phenomena on a hot plate and the fluid is flowing with a velocity u free stream, with a temperature T free stream, and surface temperature is Ts, and hydrodynamic boundary formed with a thickness delta, and thermal boundary will be formed with a thickness delta TH. So relative magnitudes of delta and delta TH depends upon the Prandtl number. Relative magnitudes of delta and delta TH depends upon the Prandtl number. When the Prandtl number is equal to 1, obviously here, so delta and delta TH is equal to delta. So thermal boundary thickness is equal to hydrodynamic boundary thickness delta when the Prandtl number is equal to 1. And when the Prandtl number is greater than 1, obviously if the Prandtl number is greater than 1, so delta TH, that is thermal boundary thickness, is less than delta hydrodynamic boundary thickness delta. So thermal boundary thickness delta TH is less than hydrodynamic boundary thickness delta when the Prandtl number is greater than 1. Obviously, Prandtl number is greater than 1, viscosity, specific viscosity will be high. When the viscosity is high, obviously, and the thickness of the delta is more because high velocity, high viscosity, high velocity, the viscosity. So high viscosity, low velocity. That's why. So with the low velocity, thickness of the delta becomes high when compared with delta TH. Delta is greater than delta TH. At what condition? So when the Prandtl number is greater than 1. Obviously, Prandtl number, how do you calculate? By using mu into Cp by K. With dynamic viscosity is more, obviously more viscosity, more thickness of delta will be formed when compared with delta TH. That's why at that instance, your delta TH, this one, is less than, for example, if this height is delta and delta TH is less than delta. So delta TH is less than delta when the Prandtl number is greater than 1. So viscosity, more viscous, obviously delta will be more. Delta, magnitude of delta is high when compared with delta TH. That's why in reverse, delta TH is less than delta when Prandtl number is greater than 1. So by following a similar reason, so when the Prandtl number is less than 1, viscosity is less to some extent. So less viscosity when compared with thermal kinetic K. That's why, so obviously, your thermal boundary delta TH is greater than delta. So like that, so after calculation of this Prandtl number, mu Cp by K, and you can verify, you can veri or you can arrive relationship between delta TH and delta. So there are three cases. If the Prandtl number is equal to 1, obviously your delta TH becomes delta. Here, delta TH I shown. Delta, for example, delta is also formed on this, again, on the above the thermal boundary layer or below the thermal boundary layer will be, or below the thermal boundary layer. So hydrodynamic boundary will be formed, but that depends upon what? That depends upon the governing parameter Prandtl number. If the Prandtl number is equal to 1, so delta TH is equal to delta. If the Prandtl number is greater than 1, delta TH is less than delta. When the Prandtl number is less than 1, so delta TH is greater than delta. That's why it is very, very important. The governing parameter, in order to verify whether delta is more or delta TH is less, delta TH is more, whether delta is less or delta TH is less, or what is the relation, what are the relative magnitudes of delta and delta TH depend upon this important number, non-dimensional number, Prandtl number, that is mu Cp by K. So like that, the Prandtl number is equal to 1, already explained. Delta TH is delta. If the Prandtl number is greater than 1, delta TH is less than delta. And if Prandtl number is less than 1, delta TH is greater than delta. Okay, na? Like that, here, for example, is delta TH. Delta TH, this is delta. In this case, so delta TH is less than, delta TH is less than delta. That at that instance, Prandtl number is greater than 1. So for this configuration, what is drawn? Diagram drawn on the screen. Verify. All of you verify. So delta TH, here, this is the thermal boundary layer. On the same plate, on the same warm plate, there is hydrodynamic boundary layer formed, hydrodynamic boundary layer. At the same time, thermal boundary layer will also be formed. But the delta TH is the thermal boundary thickness, delta is the hydrodynamic boundary layer, hydrodynamic boundary layer thickness, delta. Delta TH is the thermal boundary thickness, thermal boundary layer thickness. The relative magnitude, what is the height of delta TH? What is the height of delta? That depends upon the Prandtl number. If the Prandtl number is equal to 1, delta is equal to, delta TH is equal to delta. If the Prandtl number is greater than 1, delta TH is less than delta. If the Prandtl number is greater than 1, delta TH, this height, is less than delta. Obviously opposite. If the Prandtl number is less than 1, delta TH, this delta TH, this becomes delta TH, this becomes delta. Like that. So just for example I am giving. So if the Prandtl number is less than 1, delta TH, this is will be more than delta. Like that, you can verify after calculation of Prandtl number. You can verify the relative magnitudes of thermal boundary thickness and hydrodynamic boundary thickness. Delta TH, thermal boundary layer thickness. Delta, hydrodynamic boundary thickness. Okay, now consider a warm plate. You are heating this plate and some fluid, air or water is flowing with velocity U free stream. The temperature of the fluid T free stream, surface temperature Ts, and here the length of the plate is L. Length of the plate is L. Now, so here on this plate, hydrodynamic boundary will form like this, and thermal boundary will form like this, and delta is the hydrodynamic boundary thickness. Delta is the hydrodynamic boundary thickness. Delta T is the thermal boundary thickness. Delta T is the thermal boundary thickness. And here, consider a plate of length L. Now, consider a fluid element at a distance x. Consider a fluid element of A, B, C, D. Consider a fluid element of A, B, C, D. And at a distance x from the leading edge. This is the leading edge. This is the trailing edge. So consider a fluid element A, B, C, D under these two boundary layers, hydrodynamic boundary layer as well as thermal boundary layer. And here, so A, B, C, D, a small fluid element at a distance x. dx is the thickness of the fluid element. And at x is equal to 0, the starting point of the hydrodynamic boundary layer. So from the x is equal to 0 up to x is equal to L, hydrodynamic boundary is formed. But this thermal boundary layer formed at a distance x naught. Obviously, thermal boundary layer formed after formation of hydrodynamic boundary layer. So, for example, assume the thermal boundary layer formed at a distance x naught. Thermal boundary formed at a distance x naught from the leading edge. So thermal boundary layer, this is thermal boundary layer, will be formed at a distance x naught, from the leading edge. Okay, na? Here consider a fluid element A, B, C, D of height h, capital H. And here, if you consider the fluid element of thickness dx, so Q conduction, because of heating the plate, conduction heat is being transferred to the fluid element from the thickness of the plate. This is the thickness of the plate. Q conduction, heat conduction, and QC, QX, heat converted into the fluid element at the left face AB. Heat QX, this QX is QX plus DX. So QX is heat convected, convection heat, because it's in the fluid, the convection heat. But within the thickness of the plate, that is conduction heat transfer from the bottom surface, the conduction heat transfer. By neglecting the conduction in the x direction, we are considering the conduction in the y direction only. So Q conduction is heat entered into the fluid element through conduction, and QX is the heat converted into the fluid element through the face AB at the left side, and QX plus DX, heat convect out from the fluid element at the right face DC. QX plus DX is the heat convect out from the right face DC. And next, QH, small h, this H for height. So at a height of H, QH is the heat entered, that is convection heat, because within the fluid, convection heat only. So heat converted into the fluid element from the top face BC. Heat converted into the fluid element from the top face BC, that is QH. The energies, that's why, just like integral momentum equation, here there is an integral energy equation also. That is approximate solution of energy equation. Energy equation are given in the earlier classes. Mass equation, momentum equation, and energy equation. Energy equation, for that solution, energy equation, that is U dot T by dou x plus V dot T by dou y plus, that is W dot T by dou z is equal to alpha dot T by dou y at y is equal to 0. That has been given. Integral energy equation. So integral energy equation, approximate solution of the energy equation, approximate solution of the energy equation, the integral energy equation, just like integral momentum equation, you can get the integral energy equation, integral energy equation. Okay, somebody has raised a question, what is QH? That is not required here because we are considering only convection heat that is coming to the base, through the face BC only from the top. Okay, so like that, after considering all these energies, after considering all these energies, so for the solution of the energy equation, already given energy equation in the earlier class, mass equation, momentum equation, and energy equation. So for the solution of the energy equation by considering a small fluid element, so and by considering all these four energies, conduction heat, convection heat, and convection heat, and you get the solution for the energy equation, just like integral momentum equation, integral energy equation, just like integral momentum equation, that will be in the form of. So I am skipping the derivation because that is generally we won't ask. So, but we have to do the problems on this. All of you listen very carefully. If you are interested, you refer the textbooks for this derivation, but I am skipping the derivation. From the energy equation, by considering all these energies, you will be getting integral energy equation. That is approximate solution of the energy equation will be of the form as that of integral momentum equation. So d by dx of integral 0 to h, we are considering a height of h. Dou by dou x of integral 0 to h t free stream minus t into u into dy is equal to k by rho cp into dou t by dou y at y is equal to 0. So this has been derived as the same lines of integral momentum equation lines. If you observe the integral momentum equation derivation, so that will be the so we have arrived this equation following the same procedure of that integral momentum equation. So this is the integral, finally, this is the integral energy equation or solution, approximate solution of the energy equation. So dou by dou x integral 0 to h t free stream minus t into u into dy is equal to k by rho cp into dou t by dou y at y is equal to 0. Temperature variation at y is equal to, in the y direction at y is equal to 0. So k by rho cp alpha. So you can, because this is very small fluid element, we can replace small fluid element with partial differential with total differential, that is d by dx, same d by dx integral 0 to h t free stream minus t into u into dy is equal to k by rho cp dt by dy at y is equal to 0. So differential of integral of 0 to h, because here we are taking a height of h, so varies from thicknesses varies from 0 to h. So integral 0 to h and t free stream minus t free stream fluid temperature T. So temperature of the fluid at any point y, at any distance y from the surface of the plate. At that y, the velocity is u. That's why T free stream minus T into at any point of y, at any distance y in the y direction, u is the velocity. And so small distance dy. That's why integral 0 to h, T free stream minus T into u dy is equal to k by rho Cp into dt by dy at y is equal to 0. dt by dy at y is equal to 0. So this is the solution, approximate solution of the energy equation. Approximate solution of the energy equation. So you have to use this energy equation whenever there is a fluid flow on a flat plate, and if you are heating the plate, obviously there is heat transfer. Convective heat transfer coefficient is to be derived now. So by using this integral energy equation, d by dx, integral 0 to h, T free stream minus T into u dy is equal to k by rho Cp into dt by dy at y is equal to 0. At y is equal to 0. For this, by using this form, this solution of the energy equation, you can get the expression for the convective heat transfer coefficient. Because if you are heating the plate, obviously there is a heat transfer. So convection heat transfer coefficient h, small h. For that, you have to derive the equation for the condition of laminar flow over a flat plate. You have to derive. This is important for now. So expression for convective heat transfer coefficient for laminar over a flat plate. So this derivation is important. So for this, there small u is there, small t is there. That's why, so both the velocity profile is required and temperature profile is required. That's why you have to take the alpha of the velocity profile and you have to take the alpha of the temperature profile. So in order to derive the expression for convective heat transfer, expression for the convective heat transfer coefficient, so for any laminar flow over a flat plate, you require the velocity distribution and temperature distribution, or velocity profile, temperature profile. So generally already I given the velocity profile, the cubic velocity profile within the boundary layer is of the form u by u free stream is equal to 3 by 2 y by delta. Already given this one. U by u free stream is equal to, in the last class I given, u by u free stream is equal to 3 by 2 y by delta minus 1 by 2 y by delta cube. That's the velocity profile. The conditions which are satisfied by the temperature distribution, the conditions which are satisfied by the temperature distribution within the boundary layer are, so for this is the velocity distribution. So you have to find out the temperature distribution also. For that you require some boundary conditions. At y is equal to 0 here, at y is equal to 0, what is the temperature value? Temperature T is equal to Ts, surface temperature. At y is equal to 0, T is equal to Ts. One boundary condition. But in order to find out the temperature profile, you require boundary conditions. At y is equal to 0, temperature T is equal to Ts, surface temperature. And second boundary condition, at y is equal to 0, because for a given surface temperature, assume that is constant. That's why dt by dy is equal to 0. And d square t by dy square is also equal to 0. That's why at y is equal to 0, second boundary condition, d square t by dy square is equal to 0. At y is equal to 0, d square t by dy square is equal to 0. And third boundary condition, at y is equal to delta th. Here, at y is equal to delta th. What is the temperature? Temperature delta th or delta. So obviously, if the temperature profile, obviously here, if you consider only temperature profile, at the y is equal to delta th, T is equal to T free stream. T is equal to T free stream. So at y is equal to delta TH, T is equal to T free stream. At y is equal to delta TH, T is equal to T free stream. So obviously T is equal to T free stream. At T is equal to T free stream. So for given T free stream, and if consider fixed temperature at y is equal to delta TH, what about if you consider it as a fixed, that is constant, at y is equal to delta TH and T is equal to T free stream, and at a given value of delta TH at y is equal to delta TH, what about dt by dy? If you assume this is a constant or fixed, so dt by dy is equal to 0. So these are the 4 boundary conditions. By using these 4 boundary conditions, you can get the temperature profile equation. You can get the temperature profile equation. By using these boundary conditions, for a cubic polynomial, the temperature distribution, that is theta by theta free stream. Temperature distribution theta by theta free stream, that is equal to T minus Ts by T free stream and Ts. T minus Ts divided by T free stream and Ts is equal to A plus B into Y by delta TH plus C into Y by delta TH whole square plus D into Y by delta TH whole cube. So theta by theta free stream is equal to A plus B into Y by delta TH plus C into Y by delta TH square plus D into Y by delta TH cube. So how many number of constants are there here? A, one constant, B, one constant, C, third constant, D, fourth constant. So by using these 4 boundary conditions, by applying these 4 boundary conditions into this equation, you can be in position to calculate the constant A, constant B, constant C, constant D. So if you apply these boundary conditions, obviously, so A is equal to 0 and C is equal to 0 and B becomes 3 by 2, D becomes minus half, and finally the temperature distribution takes the following form: theta by theta free stream, that is equal to T minus Ts divided by T free stream minus Ts is equal to, so this term, B term, 3 by 2 Y by delta TH minus, so this term minus 1 by 2 Y by delta TH cube. So obviously here if you substitute this boundary condition and after differentiation dt by dy and after second differentiation d square t by dy, of substituting at y is equal to 0, because t is equal to ts, one boundary condition. At y is equal to 0, so d square t by dy square, second boundary condition. And at y is equal to delta th, t is equal to t free stream, third boundary condition. At y is equal to delta th, dt by dy is equal to 0. So that will be, so obviously, so you can calculate A, B, C, D by using these 4 boundary conditions. So obviously, if you observe this equation, A is equal to 0, C is equal to 0, and B is equal to 3 by 2, D is equal to minus 1 by 2. So by substituting B value and D value in this, then finally temperature distribution or temperature profile is of the form T minus Ts by T free stream and Ts is equal to 3 by 2 Y by delta TH minus 1 by 2 Y by delta TH cube. Okay, na? Now, so you are having the velocity distribution U is equal to U free stream into this 3 by 2 Y by delta minus 1 by 2 Y by delta cube. Similarly, here from this T minus Ts is equal to T free stream minus Ts into 3 by 2 Y by delta TH minus 1 by 2 Y by delta TH cube. Okay, by From that you can get the T value. So by substituting T and U value in this, and obviously you will be getting the expression for convective heat transfer coefficient. Okay na? So here if you observe U by U free stream is equal to T by 2 Y by delta minus 1 by 2 Y by delta cube. That's why U by U free stream is a function of Y by delta. Similarly, same form, temperature distribution also of similar form. So 3 by 2 Y by delta TH minus 1 by 2 Y by delta TH cube, Y by delta TH cube. That's why this velocity distribution as well as temperature distribution to some extent the same form because of same cubic polynomial. We have taken same cubic polynomial. That's why this the hydrodynamic boundary layer, this is a cubic polynomial. The thermal boundary also cubic polynomial. We assumed that cubic polynomial. Okay na? Now, so after getting the this velocity profile and after getting the temperature profile, you have to substitute in this integral energy equation for T and U. Because here K is constant, rho is constant, Cp is constant. You can get the dt by dy at y is equal to 0 by using this relation. By using this relation, you can get the dt by dy at y is equal to 0. And you have to substitute for t. From this, you'll get the t value. From this equation, you'll get the t equation for t. For u equation, from this relation, you'll get the u equation. And substitute t value here, u value here, and calculate, differentiate t with respect to y, and at y is calculate dt by dy at y is equal to 0, and substitute all this here and integrate, substitute the limits 0 to h, and finally, and differentiate, and finally, you will be getting the equation for expression for convective heat transfer coefficient h. In terms of h will be in terms of, or otherwise first we have to arrive at Nusselt number in terms of Prandtl number and Reynolds number. Nusselt number, once you got the Nusselt number, so you can get the heat transfer coefficient h. Nu, Nusselt number Nu is equal to HL by K. From that you can get the heat transfer coefficient, convective heat transfer coefficient h. How to get the convective heat transfer h? After getting the Nusselt number, from this the energy equation that will be seen tomorrow. We'll derive the convective heat transfer coefficient derivation, expression for convective heat transfer tomorrow by taking the alpha of u, by taking the alpha of the temperature T. Temperature T at any point in the y direction, at any point y, at any distance y. U is the velocity at any distance y. So that's why these are the variables. U is variable, T is variable. Here the two variables, temperature and velocity, variables in the y direction. So temperature varies in the y direction, velocity also varies in the y direction. So you are getting the velocity variation in the y direction only. You are getting the temperature variation in the y direction only. So after substituting this velocity distribution and temperature distribution in this integral energy equation for T and U, you will be getting the, finally you will be getting the equation for Nusselt number. Once you get the expression for Nusselt number, after the calculation of Nusselt number Nu is equal to HL by K, where H is the convective heat transfer coefficient. So after getting the Nusselt number, you can derive the expression for convective heat transfer coefficient. For that, how to derive convection heat transfer coefficient? That we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, that's all for today. Any doubt? That's all for today. So I'm closing. Any doubt? I'm closing.